Ah, why am I not sideways? Ah, why am I not sideways? That's not working. Hello guys, I'm just trying to figure this out because it's the first time I'm going live from my phone and I don't know why I can't go portrait. Let's see. No, that's not right. Share, mute microphone. Is there a... This is so silly. Why can't I go landscape? How's it guys? Hello everyone. Okay, I can put a filter on my face. Glamour, hello. Beam, hello. Okay, I can put a filter, but I can't go portrait. Well, I suppose most of you guys are probably watching this on your phone. So, I mean, let's just make this work. Sorry guys, sorry about the technical situation here. Let me quickly figure this out. Live, back live. Rotate device. No, okay. Seems we have to go this way. Sorry, learning as I go here. Right. Okay. Yeah, and let's do that. Okay. Right. I think we got it. And I assume everyone can hear me. So, okay, we can begin. Sorry about the clowning around there, my bad. First time we're going live from a phone, and we obviously, live is something you can't practice, right? You can't do like a pretend live because otherwise all your subscribers see it. So you just have to learn on the go. Okay, cool. All right, guys, let's get started. First of all, hello, I'm Ciro De Siena from Cars.co.za. Welcome to our Thursday live broadcast. Sorry we haven't done a few of these in a while. I've been a bit ill. I took some time off as well. We have a crazy production schedule. I've done some traveling as well, some launches and stuff. So just very, very difficult to keep doing these on a Thursday. But if you guys like them, you must let me know, and we'll try and be as consistent as possible. So thank you for all of you for joining me. Very cool to have you all on board. Let's go. Let's answer some motoring questions. Okay. Right. Hey, Chiro. BMW M50D quad turbo torque monster. Yes. Also, 4 turbos to brake. 4 times the chance of something going horribly wrong. How's it, guys? Anele, hello. Kevin Smith, hi. Warren Wilson, hello. Lebohang, how's it going? Matthew Dixon, Rudy. Man, we keep disconnecting here, which is unfortunate. Okay, let's hope that the connection stays up. Probably load shedding somewhere. Right, let me get into your questions, guys. Want to buy the new Mahindra XUV 500. Thoughts? So I actually haven't driven it, unfortunately. But look, I think Mahindra make very robust cars. They've been making cars for decades. They know what they're doing. In India, they're extremely popular in other markets around the world. They make tough cars. So they're not the most luxurious cars, not the most comfortable cars, but they're at a good price and they're very, very tough. Don't see too much going wrong. They're also very dedicated to this market. I know the guys from Mahindra quite well, really good people who just believe very much in their brand and their business. So I don't think you can go wrong with the Mahindra. It's not going to be as It's maybe going to be a slightly less luxurious experience than some of its rivals, but you probably have better reliability, I would say. I hope that helps. Johan, how's it? Patrick, hello. Talk driven. Nice one, guys. See you soon. Abominable Dot. Is there an update on the Tigo 4 Pro's fuel consumption? I'd love to hear from people who actually own the car when driven economically. I think someone left a comment on one of our videos saying that they're getting between 7 and 8 to the 100, a Cherry Tigo 4 owner. So I hope that helps you. Lebohang, the other one was better. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, trying to figure this out, but update landscape mode. Don't know how to do that, guys. Don't seem to be getting those options here, unfortunately. So that's that, really. Let's stick to portrait mode, not interrupt the live stream again. Hope you're feeling better. I am, thank you. Olani, hey Ciro, just a word of advice to potential Haval Jolion buyers. Parts are scarce. My wife was involved in an accident in June, still parked at the panel beater waiting for the ship to arrive. So look, it's very possible that Haval has a part supply issue. However, keep in mind that it's a Chinese brand, and shipping out of China has been, and for months, has been an absolute nightmare because China is pursuing a zero COVID policy. The government ruthlessly shuts down cities, ruthlessly shuts down ports. Like, 1 minute the port is operating, the next minute the port is not operating, and everyone gets bussed out and has to isolate because they're trying to kill COVID. So, anything that comes out of China right now is delayed. Anything. So, and I'm sorry for your situation, but it's possibly not Haval's fault entirely. Marcus, hey Ciro, what is your preference, naturally aspirated engines or turbo engines? So I mean, I own a supercharged car, a turbocharged car, and a naturally aspirated car, or two actually, and they all have their pros and cons. Sorry guys, I don't know why this is happening. I had a video call with my mom in England on this phone with this Wi-Fi connection this morning, no problems. Now I'm on a live stream and we're having connection problems. Sorry about that. Yeah, I think, look, like I say, naturally aspirated engines, you can't beat for responsiveness, right? The power's there. Supercharged engines are pretty close. Turbocharged engines are exciting, they're dramatic. You get this elastic kind of whoosh, this acceleration which you don't get from naturally aspirated, which is pretty cool. But in terms of reliability, in terms of engine longevity, the more you blow on the thing, the longer. I mean, it's not going to last as long, So something to keep in mind. Marcus, taking into account fuel consumption and fuel prices. Yeah, I think, the world went mad for these 1 liter turbo engines. I'm not convinced about them. Although, actually, Volkswagens are pretty economical. They're 1 liter turbos. Those 1 liter turbos, they're efficient as long as you don't have to actually go anywhere in any sort of hurry. As soon as you push them, they just drink. So, I don't know. Pros and cons. Bikeman, all the best from me in Norway. How's it? Tika, can we expect a review of this new C63 e-Performance soon? Oh man, I'd love to drive it. If you can organize me one, let me know. I mean, there's none in the country as far as we're aware, so it's going to take some time. How's the new RS3? Don't know. Haven't even seen one in real life. I know there was a launch recently. I think my colleague Dave went, so there's a written review on the site if you want to go check it out. I'm excited to drive it. It's 1.5 million rand though. Question, Golf GTI versus Subaru WRX, which is best? I wouldn't actually say they're direct rivals in a sense. I mean, yeah, technically they are, but you've got all-wheel drive versus front-wheel drive. That's a major difference, right? So right off the bat, they're quite different cars in terms of their traction and their handling characteristics. Look, I would say buy the one you like the most. They've both got pros and cons. I feel like Subaru is a little bit more unique, but more rare, which is quite nice, than say Golf GTI. Golf GTI sort of blends into the surroundings. There's so many of them around, so something to keep in mind. Right, Dave Taylor. Hello, Dave. Success, looking good. Let's go. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us, Dave. Jacques van der Walt, why are most brands having supply issues? Yeah, I just explained it now. Don't know if you heard, but basically China's zero COVID policy, they just shut down ports. They shut down entire cities, basically. So anything coming out of China is a nightmare right now. Rahil, is it worth buying a used 2012 Z4 for a daily driver? Look, as anything when it comes to these sorts of cars, you got to try to find the right car, right? You got to shop very carefully. You could buy an absolute lemon. You could find something at a good price, but it turns out to just be a freaking dog show, So keep that in mind. I own old cars. I love them. You just have to be prepared for some issues, I mean, new cars give issues. The difference is that when a new car gives an issue, you go to the dealer and you say, here's the key, I'll see you guys tomorrow, fix it. When an old car breaks, it's your problem, right? So just keep make sure you got a little bit of cash to sort everything out. As a daily, tricky. Look, it's not, I mean, a friend of mine owns a 10-year-old Z4. He absolutely loves it. He doesn't daily it though. So a bit of a different proposition. I would say have like a little run around and then Z4 is your weekend car. Right. Siseko. Hello, Ciro. Please review the Honda Jazz Hybrid. Siseko, you're in luck. Go on our channel. There's a review already there. Patrick, how's the FD doing? Yeah, my RX-7. RX-7 is broken currently. Not entirely broken. Still starts, still runs, just has something on the boost circuitry where it freaks out when it hits full boost and the ECU cuts the spark and feels like you've driven into a shed sideways. And so I'm not driving it at the moment, and my M5 needs work at the moment, so I'm trying to just move the money around and get all of them going. I had to put some money into my Lexus. So, old cars. It's fun. It's a party. Love it. But yeah, I mean, it's a great car. I mean, it's right there. It's just outside the boardroom, actually. Maybe I'll show you at the end of the stream. But yeah, it's such a cool car, man. When I bought that car, I knew it was going to give me troubles. I knew already. And that's the RX-7, and I just said to myself, if I just have it near me and I can look at it, I'll be happy, because for me, that car's a work of art. And that's pretty much what happens. It's now just a giant Japanese paperweight, a very nice looking paperweight, which I enjoy looking at. So until I fix it. But I'm going to fix it soon, and we're going to put a video on the channel, so stay tuned. Abominable, pleasure, man. Siseko, meant Honda Fit hybrid. Yes, sorry, Honda Fit. It's called the Fit now. It's on our channel. Lebohang, high mileage T-Cross or base Corolla XI versus Corolla hatchback, second hand, or new Vitara Brezza urban cruiser, or should just go for Starlet Baleno and save myself some money with a budget of 350k. Wow, man. Whew. Okay, how much time have you got, Lebohang? I can feel your confusion. I can see you lying in bed at night, staring at the ceiling, going, "What should I buy? What should I buy?" Okay, we're back. Sorry, guys. I don't know what's going on. I'm very sorry about this. We will do our best to figure it out for next time. Maybe we'll use a different phone or something like that. Apparently, the stream is also capped at 720, so I didn't realize maybe that happens when you're on a phone. So sorry about that. Okay, let me go back to Lebohang. Budget of 350. Look, I would say of all of those, go for the Vitara Brezza or the Urban Cruiser. brand new, out the box. My girlfriend's brother actually bought one on my advice. He's very happy with it. I would say it's the most practical, usable, nicest car selection of cars there. That would be my call. We have videos on all of those cars on the channel, if that'll help you make your decision. Literally every single car you've mentioned, we have a video on, so I hope that helps you. Wayne, greetings from sunny Cape Town. Is it sunny? It's not sunny where I am. Where are you? My X5 3D with everything. X5 3D, 3-liter diesel, I assume, with everything, just turned 5 with 60,000 on the clock. Renewed the motor plan for 24 months. What year I should sell her in or trade? Well, if you've paid for the motor plan, I mean, I suppose there's two sides to this sort of coin here. One is it might be more attractive to a buyer if it's got some motor plan, right? So you might make your money back on the motor plan. Alternatively, you've paid for the motor plan, and if you like the car and the car's going well, it's very low mileage, then why let someone else benefit from what you paid on the motor plan, right? So I would say maybe list it. So I don't know, maybe try our sell car service where you can get bids on your car from our dealers. So just go to our sites and click sell car in the top right. And see what you can get for it. If you can get enough that you make your money back on your warranty, then maybe it is worth selling. But, you know, I always say to someone, cool, you sell your car, you make some money, but what do you buy? So you have to ask yourself, is the money I'm going to get out of this car going to be enough for me to buy something that I like just as much? You know, and if the answer is no, then just keep your car, you know. And imagine you probably finished paying it off now. So now you've got no car installments. That's beautiful. That's like the dream. You're living the dream. Ashley Oldfield, hello. Karabo. Why? YouTube, if anyone from YouTube is listening, I doubt it. As soon as I touch the comments on my laptop, it jumps. Why must it do that? Like, I'm trying to read comments here. So Chaba, quick question. Is the T-Roc really all it's cut out to be? Your thoughts, or Kia Seltos a better buy? Nah, the T-Roc's not my favorite Volkswagen, to be honest. It's basically got a Polo interior, it costs a fortune. You know what I would actually buy? I'd buy that Tigo if you really want a VW. The Tigo for me is like, it's like 90% of the experience of a T-Roc for less money. So, or buy a used Tiguan, maybe is a good bet as well. Just be careful because Volkswagen's warranties are short, but you can extend them. Yusha, how's it? Golf 3 GTI, 2-liter, at 40 grand. I assume you mean 400 grand. No, 40 grand. No, it's a Golf 3. Yeah, mileage 178 as a runaround car. Look, I mean, it's impossible for me to comment on a car like that, having not even seen it, not knowing the history of the car. You know, these sorts of things, you know, as someone who's bought old cars, you got to check out the car properly, and even so, it's almost impossible to pick up every problem, right? The car might give you some problems, but if you got the money and you got a bit of money to invest in the car, because you probably will need to put some money in, then buy a car that makes you happy. You know, I always say to people, if you buy a car and you look at it and puts a smile on your face when you park it, you turn around and look at it, then you bought the right car. So if you got the budget for it, just be aware. And the thing is, you know, VW parts relatively easy to come by. Like companies like Goldwagen do a lot of them. So I mean, you know, it could be like a cool, fun little weekend car to enjoy. Prashen, how's it? Why is pre-face Polo 2018, 2021 more in demand than the current facelift? I don't know. I haven't heard about that, but I suppose maybe just because the price keeps going up, and maybe people just want a Polo. They're not necessarily fussed about having the latest and greatest Polo and the latest and greatest tech. Not sure. But, you know, I think South Africans' spending power is squeezed pretty badly. And people are looking for good deals, you know. So, Andrew Leopold, hello. What motoring event is still on your bucket list? Goodwood. dying to go to Goodwood. Would absolutely love to go to Goodwood. I'd love to see F1 at Suzuka. Apparently that's amazing. Lamar would be nice to see. But yeah, Goodwood is number one. Hello from Australia. What are you doing awake or up? What time is it there? It's like Saturday there or something. What do you think about a City Golf as a first car? Joel, how's it, Joel? Yeah, I mean, cool, easy car to maintain. You know, it's still got some like street cred. You can do cool things to it. I mean, you know, we had a City Golf in the family. My sister had one. Cool little car. I mean, not the safest cars in the world, but then again, I drive a Mazda MX-5, which has basically got the safety standards of an empty jacuzzi. So, you know, just keep that in mind. Can you see where? How's it? What your thoughts on new Renault Clio in comparison to VW Polo? Unfortunately, haven't driven the new. No, I have driven the new Renault Clio. Yeah, nice car. I suppose it would come down to pricing. Let's quickly use the Cars.co.za compare tool. Very useful. You'll find it on our site. Compare cars. Let's see. What does a top-end Renault Clio, let's have a look. You get the Life, the Zen, and the Intense. The Turbo Intense. Clio Turbo Intense. What a name. Volkswagen. Polo. Polo R-Line. Wow, there's a big price difference. Is the Intense the highest spec? Was Zen highest spec? Was Life highest spec? No. Goodness me. Look, I don't really have time to go through the spec sheets on these cars. You'll find it on our website. But the top spec Renault, which will probably be nicely spec'd, is nearly 80,000 Rand cheaper than the top spec Polo, which I know is a nicely spec car, but sheesh, 80,000 Rand. And the Renault is a quality product. It's well put together, beautiful inside for a car in that segment. I don't know. I wouldn't overlook a Renault personally. I think the Renault makes great small cars, generally speaking. Right, where were we? I've lost the stream. Here we go. Okay. Brishan, how's it, brother? How are you, Brishan? How come the Sentimental Review channel has never done a feature on the Toyota 16-valve twin cam? It's not under Sentimental. If you search, what is it called? This is the problem when you have over 600 videos on your channel. Ernest Page did a really cool video series for us, 2 videos, where he organized one of every Corolla ever sold. And I'm sure it's in there. So search like Corolla on our site, Corolla Hatch or Corolla Legacy or Corolla, search Corolla Heritage and you'll find it. Cool, but thanks for your question. Jono, how's it? Hi, Chira. I have a 2018 Mazda CX-5 Active, 50,000 Ks on the clock. That's not bad. Still owe 140 on it. Fuel economy 8.6. Thinking of selling, getting a Baleno 1.5 GLX for better fuel economy. Your thoughts? Yeah, look, you can't go wrong with the Baleno or the Starlet. The Baleno was always a great car. You know, it was just completely sort of overlooked because you've got the Swift and you've got the Ignis and you've got other cars at good price points in the Suzuki stable. But you know, I actually think what's happened is the Starlet has now shone a spotlight on the Baleno, and Suzuki's just tweaked the pricing a little bit and the options list and made sure that it's a very competitive package and slightly cheaper in some instances, and it's the same car. So yeah, I would buy a Baleno or a Starlet with absolute confidence, and check out the review on our site where we had the two side by side, going down the road, side by side. Cool. Where are we? Mndeli. Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Sorry. Which car would you recommend for max 150k budget? Looking for something reliable. Recently sold my Clio after 7 years. Got an A250, but need a decent low budget second-hand car. Yeah, sure. Don't know if I would have bought an A250 personally. Sorry, I'm not trying to tease you. I'm just saying that's those are not easy to maintain, from what I understand. 150k. So we have quite a useful tool on our website where if you go search for a car, you can put in the price bracket that you're searching in. So if you go search car and then you click on price range, we've got loads of price ranges. So here's a price range 125 to 149. Let's click on that. And well, you can get a 2004 Prado for 139 grand. That'll be fun. So obviously it's going to throw up a lot of options. Here's a nice 2016 Honda HR-V for 125 grand with 108,000 Ks on the clock. That's pretty cool. Renault Captur is quite a nice car. Can get an Audi A4, but I wouldn't. Ooh, we can get a Citroen DS5. I love that car, but I wouldn't buy one either. Mahindra Bolero, Quid, a new Suzuki 2020 Suzuki Swift. Yeah, something like a 2020 Suzuki Swift would be good. Low mileage, 150 grand. I think I'd put my money there. So yeah, go check out Honda i20 available also. Not bad in that price range. That's also a nice option. Yeah, go use our price range tool and let me know what you think. Let me know what you come up with. Cool. Right, where were we? Ramela, do you think BMW M140s and M240s are still dependable? Look, I think everyone's definition of dependable is different, right? As a rule of thumb, cars that were expensive when they were new are generally expensive to maintain when they're old, right? You've just got to be aware. You got to know what you're in for. You know, don't go in blind and don't go in too optimistic. Try get the car inspected that you're buying. Try get it to somewhere where you can have it inspected. Get underneath the car. Getting underneath the car is probably the number one thing I've learned in buying my cars. If you can get under a car, wow, you save yourself a lot of heartache. But yeah, cool cars. I mean, just keep in mind that, look, you know, the people who bought M140i's and M240i's, you know, they bought them to enjoy them. You know, those cars probably haven't lived a soft life, you know, so just keep that in mind. Andrew, how's it? What does Hyundai Kia only offer the 2.2 engine? Why do the comments jump like that? That is so annoying. Sorry, Andrew, I lost your comment. Okay, why does Hyundai Kia only offer 2.2 diesel engine on their high-end models? Yeah, it's complicated. I mean, it's difficult to know why manufacturers make these decisions, but you probably find it's got something to do with like the weather that the car is rated for, homologation issues. You know, manufacturers have to be confident that the cars can survive in South Africa. It's high heat, high altitude. And it's possible that what also drives these decisions is price points, right? So Hyundai doesn't make cars here, so they pay full import taxes. Like they don't have export credits like some of the other manufacturers do. So they have to work their price point very hard. It's quite tough for them to get cars in at competitive prices. So that's often the case. Which M5 do you own? I have a E39 M5, 2001, the facelift in Silverstone blue. If you check out my Instagram, it's on my Instagram. Jens, how's it? Car prices are outrageous. Are we heading back to riding horses? You know what? A friend of mine at Varsity, his dad was a lawyer, and him and his dad bought a Nissan 200 SX, and the idea was to modify it and make it like super fast, right? And my friend's sister had two horses for show jumping. And the one night we were having dinner, there was such an interesting family, so fun to spend time with. The one night we were having dinner and they started discussing what's more expensive, this highly modified car, which they'd spent a fortune on, or the horses. And the dad just calmly said, "No, guys, I've been keeping..." And we're back. Sorry about that, guys. I hope you heard my horse story. The punchline was great. Yeah, I don't know, Jens. I think this is what's driving the second-hand car market, to be honest. Second-hand car market is buoyant as hell. Like, it's going nuts, you know. And there's good cars out there, you know. I foresee the new car market just shrinking, to be honest. Patrick, man, I can't stretch this enough. I feel absolutely the same about RX-7s. If I were to get one, I would put in it so I can see it from my living room. They're incredible. Thanks. Yeah, no. I'll show you mine at the end of the stream. I don't want to get up and move my setup here. Shepiso, Hyundai gets as a first car. Yeah, used, obviously. What mileage would you consider too high or safe? You know, for me, I'm not scared of mileage. Like, high mileage is, especially on an unstressed engine, which I think those engines were. I don't think they were turbocharged. For me, it's about maintenance. Check the car's service history, you know, and make sure, try to get it checked out. I mean, I know a friend of mine, a lawyer friend, saves so much money on cars. She doesn't care about cars. Her and her husband, they drive a Corolla with 250,000 Ks on it. It's in great condition. You know, they look after it. So a car that's been looked after, who cares what mileage it's done, to be honest. But obviously, you want the car in the best condition with the lowest mileage and the youngest year. You know, that's what you want to try to get. Kuan. Sorry. Don't know how to pronounce your name. Hello. Kevin Smith. Bellino would be more comfortable than Brezza for long trips, like a sales rep. I don't know. Much of a muchness, say, for me. Giovanni. Hello. Boyd Shoko. Hi, Chera. I've been watching the channel for a while. See, you don't review a lot of Ford vehicles. Maybe please review the new Everest. Yeah, I think the problem with Ford is they don't sell many cars. They sell Mustang, EcoSport, Everest, Ranger. That's it. We've got Everest videos, we've got Ranger videos, we've got Mustang videos, we've got Fiesta videos. They don't sell Fiesta anymore. We've got Figo videos. They don't sell Figos anymore. They haven't really launched a new car in a while. The EcoSport's been around for like 15 years. Maybe not that long, and they just keep bringing out different editions, which we don't think are really worth a full production. So, yeah, look, when new Ranger comes, definitely going to do lots of content. When new Everest comes, just been launched this week, we'll definitely do lots of content. And just go through our channel. You know, there's loads of videos over the years. You'll find videos on most Ford products, if I'm not mistaken. Cool. Kanya, we are listening. Cool. Hello. Nomonde, Chero, thank you for the live. Please tell us why Lexus LS 500 not coming to SA. Oh, that's news to me. I don't know. Price point, homologation issues, not enough market demand. You know, that segment of the market is dying. You know, Audi A8s, BMW 7 Series, Merc S-Class, very little demand up at that end of the market. Everyone wants SUVs. Chiro, what's your favorite car? Am I allowed to say it's my car? Yeah, I love my M5. I think that's my favorite car. I've always wanted one. I'm so happy I own one. If I had to buy a car right now, like if you gave me R1 million and go buy a car, I'd go buy a Mustang Bullet. I would really want one of those. They're holding their value so well. I drove one, actually drove it in France, in the hills of France, and I sound like an absolute douchebag, but I was really lucky to go on the international launch, and that car just left such an impression on me. It's such a great car. So yeah, that's what I'd buy. Where are we? Marcus, hello. You're replying to Yusha. Okay, cool. Hi, should I upgrade my Golf 7 GTI to a 7.5 or Golf 8? I don't know, man. Budget dependent, I suppose. Golf 8's really nice. I would say Golf 7's more fun to drive than a Golf 8. Golf 8's more like grown up, nicer for longer distances, more comfortable, more quiet. 7.5 is great as well. Just be careful. You know, if you've got a good car now and it's not giving you any problems, you might be buying problems, you know, so just be very careful. Have I tried the new Proton? I haven't. I'm sorry. My colleague Ashley's driven one, I think. Yes, he has. So we've got a written review on the site. He went to the launch. Abominable. I saw your comment. Thanks. Rian. When will you review the new Ford Ranger? When they launch it? I don't know. Ask Ford. Hi, Ciro. Your take on the new Haval H6 GT? Would you consider one? Yeah, probably would, but I prefer the hybrid. We just filmed the hybrid. I really enjoyed it. I'd buy the hybrid over the GT. Cole's like my jacuzzi comment. Cool. Yusuf, sorry, started watching the H6 hybrid video and had to finish it. Oof, you listened to me talk crap for 27 minutes. You're a brave man. What's up, Ciro and Ash? How's it? Akil. Hello, how reliable are 2017, 2018 Jeep Grand Cherokee 3.6? Are they a good option to buy secondhand? Look, I'm not trying to be facetious or trying to just palm you off. It's an impossible question for me to answer. I don't have any data on that. All I can go on is hearsay and, what I call around the braai reputation. Just be careful. Just try to find the best example that you can and try to buy carefully. That's the best thing you can do for yourself. And also check out, a good idea is to check out forums, owners forums. So very good forum is 4x4community.co. I'm sure you'll find lots of comment there from people who own those cars. So sorry, yeah, it's a super tough thing for me to answer. Okay, we're back. Sorry, guys. Jason, 2011, 2013 BMW 135 are reliable to purchase secondhand over 100,000 Ks. So I've been doing this job 18 years, and the number one question I get asked about cars is this car reliable? That is the number one question by a country mile, right? And the number one question that is the hardest to answer of all of the questions that I ever get asked about cars is that car reliable? It is incredibly difficult to answer that question. So there's no data. All there is hearsay and stories that you hear and friends of friends and family experiences and blah, blah, blah. We have some data at Cars.co.za. We did a consumer survey, and it did reveal some interesting things. So like Suzuki, Honda, Toyota right at the top, brands like Audi really far down, Land Rover, Range Rover. But, sorry, guys. So I realized that my opinion as a car journalist is possibly more valuable than other people's opinions, right? Because I'm closer to the industry and more people talk to me about their cars, so I have a bit more information. So I totally understand that you want my opinion, and I'm happy to give it. But it is, at the end of the day, just an opinion. So what's more important is that you buy your car carefully and try to find the best example of the car that you're looking for, and just go in with your eyes open and realize that if you buy an old car, the problems are going to be your problems. New cars have problems, old cars have problems. I was saying at the beginning of this live stream, the difference with a new car is that when it has a problem, you go to the dealer, you're like, here's the key, see you later, which is a faff in and of itself, because then you don't have your car. But anyway, when your car breaks, it's your car. So, buy cars and make you happy within your budget, and be aware that you're going to have some issues. And the thing is, buying a car is about risk, right? So like lowest risk, buying a new car, highest risk, buying a car maybe privately or from auction or something, and then there's everything in the middle. So depending on how much risk you're willing to you have an appetite for, and then that's how it goes. So I mean, my personal experience, my M5 is stuffed, right? I bought a high mileage M5. It was running quite nicely. I had it inspected. It needs a new timing chain. It's going to cost me a fortune. But I love that car. It's been a good investment, and it's worth way more than I paid for it. So, that's the maths that you do, I know you did review the RS6. I don't know if you did an economy test on it. I don't see the point of doing an economy test in RS6, but thanks for asking. Cool, where were we now? Oh, this bloody jumping comments. Everyone's chatting to each other. Good. I own an Etios. Where were we? Hi, Monet, you enjoyed the hybrid review. Do you think it's well worth the additional money, though? I don't know. A friend of mine got in touch with me, and her sister was looking to buy a car, and they said that they really liked the Volvo plug-in hybrid, right? And I looked at it. The Volvo plug-in hybrid is such a nice car, but it's like something like 300,000 or 400,000 rand more than the next like best Volvo XC60. And like the reality is you'd have to drive to the moon and back in that hybrid to recover that extra 400k spend, right? So the other factor in the equation, of course, is your resale value. So there's no point in saving a ton of fuel, but then you lose money on the resale. So there's all these little things you have to do with the maths. Look, I think that the hybrid for me is a better driving experience than a normal car because you've got that electric mode, which it's in a lot of the time. It's a very pleasant drive. It's a very nice car to drive, very relaxing car to drive. So there's that. And it's a psychological thing. Like petrol is a grudge purchase, right? We all hate putting petrol in our cars. So if you can put less of it in your car, you'll probably feel better about your life, even though you had to pay more for the car. So, and the other thing is the hybrid is better spec than the other cars. So you get a bit more tech, so a bit more comfort features. So yeah, I would probably go for the hybrid if I had the money, to be honest. But I'd also rather buy a Mustang Bullet, so there's also that. No, but seriously, the hybrid is a nice car. It's a really, really nice car. And the RAV4 hybrid is a nice car as well. I'd probably be happy with one of those as well. Own an Etios and love that car. When I park it, I always look back to admire it. I've owned a few cars, but I feel Etios is taking care of me. That's great. It's reliable, light on fuel, and it's a manual. Good stuff, man. It's good to hear a good story like that. I love it. Thanks for sharing. Johnny, did you see how much the second-hand Corolla Cross sells for? I saw one with, new. I know. So Corolla Crosses are selling way above their list price. It's insane. Demand's insane. But you know why? It's because the factory got flooded. There's no supply. So people pretty much charge whatever they want for them. But they're building cars again. Alan, RAV or Tiguan? What's your opinion? Both nice cars. The Tiguan looks a bit better for me. The RAV is a bit too quirky for my liking. The RAV has a very nice interior though, but I think the Tiguan's got better engines, to be honest. Maybe not as economical, depending on how you drive, but the RAV's naturally aspirated engines with a CVT box, not very nice. If I was buying the RAV4 hybrid, I'd say that's a good bet over the Tiguan. But yeah, personally on styling, I'm not a big fan of the RAV4 styling, so I'd probably go for a Tiguan. But the latest Tiguans though, for me also, it feels like they've done a bit of cost cutting. The interiors look nice, but they don't feel as substantial as they used to be. Nirvashan, hi Chiro, thoughts on a Cherry QQ? My friend owns one. They were interesting cars. I think, I hope that, very few times in my life I haven't been able to easily find the right words to say. I hope your friend has many happy miles in that QQ. They were cheap cars to begin with. I think everyone knew what they were getting. They weren't particularly well made. I hope that he's able to find parts for it. And if he's getting, like the guy with the Etios, not particularly my favorite car, but guy's having a great experience. So I hope your friend is too. Right. Deerveld, would you choose new VW T-Cross or Cherry Tigo 4 Pro? Good question, man. I like that Tigo 4 Pro. It impressed me very much. T-Cross probably a bit more economical. You're going to save a lot of money with the 4 Pro, and you're going to get probably more features. The T-Cross is quite expensive. I don't think you can go too wrong. The big question is maybe resale value, but there's so much demand for Cherry that I actually don't think that will be too much of an issue. So I'd maybe go Tigo, Try something new. Cool. Tabelo, why do you prefer old cars? I'm really lucky, right? I'm in a very fortunate position where I get to drive a whole bunch of new cars every week, and so I don't feel the need to own a new car. Um, I can't afford the new cars that I'd want to own. They're too bloody expensive. So I'd rather put my money into cars that will hopefully appreciate. Interesting cars, cars that I can take to car meets and stand around and point at and talk nonsense with other car owners who stand around their cars and point at things. Um, it's a little bit of an investment play, but also like an enjoyment play, right? I mean, like I took my M5 to Neisen and back. I absolutely loved it. One of the best drives of my life. Me and my girlfriend the whole way there, listening to Tom Jones classics. My mom raised me on Tom Jones, unfortunately, and I just don't think it would have been as memorable in a, I don't know. I'm not trying to be derogatory about Corollas, but like Corolla, and my M5 cost me less than a Polo Vivo. So, although now it's about to cost me quite a lot. So yeah, I don't know. Old cars just have something about them. There's like a soul to them, I mean, some new cars do as well, but, and I love the value. I love finding value where other people have sort of disregarded it, So like my LS400 cost me 65 grand. Like, what can you buy for 65 grand? Like, nothing. The cheapest car in South Africa is 160,000 rand. It's an espresso. And it's like, not being mean about the espresso, but it's like, hey, let's go for a drive in my Lexus LS400, V8 luxury USA land yacht versus, hey, let's go for a drive in my espresso. I mean, I don't know. I love the occasion of old cars, and I try to find ones that hopefully won't leave me on the side of the road. So anyway, thanks for asking. I love talking about old cars and my cars and everything. So good to chat. Warren, Chero, when are you personally reviewing the Swift Sport for us? I'd love to drive that car. Yeah, we must get in touch with, I've driven it once. I drove it at Gerotech during our Cars.co.za testing. I loved it. I'd love to get one, actually. Love to get one for a test. Maybe even own one. It's a cool car. Missed the punchline to the horse joke. Oh, no, did it not come through? Basically, the family was discussing what was more expensive, the highly modified car or the show jumping horses. And the dad just sat there quietly and just said, no, guys, I've been keeping tabs and the horses are winning. So, yeah, horses are expensive. Right. Everyone's chatting to each other, so I'm trying to work out what's a comment and what's people chatting to each other. But I'm glad you're all chatting to each other. It's great. Please continue. Please send a list of the best off-roading playgrounds. Best person to ask is my colleague Dieter. So you'll find him on Instagram, Dieterpey, Dieterpey, at Dieterpey, I think one word. And that guy knows everything about everything there is to know about 4x4ing. I know very little. I'm sorry I can't help you. But get in touch with Dieter. He'll help you out. He's got incredible knowledge about that scene. Nivasha and Cherry make my day. Ford Icon. Yeah. Not terrible, but it's a budget car built to a price. Lechlo Honolo. Did I get that right? Okay, we're back. Damn, guys, I'm so sorry about this. We will do our utmost to have it sorted for next week. People don't buy Lexuses. I did. Mornay, many minds. Looking at H6, I was chatting to Ashley. Okay, I'll let Ashley deal with that one. Jeremy, Duster Julian? Jolyon? Did your phone autocorrect Jolyon to Julian? That's quite funny. Or Tigo 7 Pro. Tough one. Yeah, look, they all have their pros and cons. I spent a week with a Tigo 7. I was impressed, especially at that price point. Really nice car. Jolyon, not my favorite Chinese car, actually. Duster, yeah. My colleague has a Duster. Oh, damn, guys. I have no idea why this is happening. I'm sorry. Just going to persevere for another 10 minutes or so. Yeah, so as I was saying, the Duster for me has that dual clutch box. I think it's called the EDC box. And in my experience, I didn't like that box at all, to be honest. So I'd have to go for a manual Duster, which I actually quite like. I had one as a long-term test vehicle. I really came to like it. But I don't want to live with a manual, to be honest, for commuting. So that would sort of rule out the Duster for me, unfortunately. Yeah, hope that helps you a little bit. Sedzani, also love the Mustang Bullet. That's good. Yeah, me too, man. Nevashan, would you buy a BMW M3 Touring? Yes. Your thoughts on a Honda Accord Tourer? Yes. Love it. My aunt owns a sedan one. I love touring. I love wagons. But, you know, I've come to realize, I think one of the reasons why a lot of South Africans don't like wagons is because they associate them with hearses, right? And every time I tweet about wagons on Twitter, people reply and say, no, it looks like a hearse. And maybe that's why South Africans don't like wagons. And that's so unfortunate if that's the case. Kyle, hey, Ciro, what are your thoughts on Merc ditching the V8 for the upcoming C63? Look, they've gone to town with that thing. Geez, like, what's that, 500 kilowatts, 1,000 newtons? I mean, the thing's going to be a rocket ship. And it's going to be very heavy, obviously, but I think it's like 2.2 tons. So, I don't know, light cars are nice to drive. Yeah, look, as a big fan of V8s, it's sad. The world's moving on. But, you know, the thing is, like, for me, it actually doesn't bother me. Like, one of my dream cars is a 2010 Merc C63, the four-door with the 6.2-liter V8. And those are going to be around for a while. I mean, the new ones, they're going to be cool. They're going to be tech-fest. They're going to be super fast. You know, they're going to be super expensive. I don't know. I think that what's bothering me most about cars, the tech isn't really bothering me so much, and the move away from ICE. But what's bothering me is the price. Like, I don't aspire to own like some cars anymore. Like, everything's over R1 million, over 2 million rand, like an M4, whatever, 2 million rand. Like, I don't feel connected to those cars in a way like I used to when I was growing up, you know. So I've actually sort of forgotten about those cars. I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to spend 2 million rand on a car. So, I mean, maybe one day I'd like to be able to, but even if I could, I don't know if I would. I don't know if I see value at 2 million rand, to be honest, for like a sports car. And apparently this C63 is going to cost like 2.7 bar or something like that. So, I don't know. Yeah. You know, if you gave me 2.7 million rand and said, go car shopping, I would have a freaking herd of cars, a fleet of interesting cars for 2.7 million rand. Anyway, sorry, I feel like I'm ranting. Thanks for listening. How's it? Thoughts on, how's it, Priyan, on the Abarth 595 Competizione? I never got to drive one, but I mean, they sound like a hoot. I mean, they must be awesome to drive. Colleague of mine loves those Fiats. He nearly bought one, and he's a proper petrol head. So yeah, no, go for it, man. Have fun. I hope it goes well. Philip, Chira, Outback or Forester? Outback for me, eh? Nice car that. Skylar, can you give some questions to ask in a dealership? Yeah, probably your number one concern in a dealership is once you've found the car you like and they've given you the quotes and everything, then you're going to go through the finance process. And really what you want to do is you want to be very thorough with the finance process. So what might happen is a dealer might come back to you and say, hey, this is the best deal you're going to get from this bank. And it might look like a good deal, but you're well within your rights to say, please, can you ask the other banks for me? And maybe you get a better deal, you know, because sometimes maybe a dealer gets a better commission from a certain bank, so they push a certain bank. So it might not be in your best interest. So when you're going through the finance process, assuming you're financing, just be very pushy. Not pushy, but just push back, you know, politely, and make sure you're getting the best deal for yourself. I would say that's probably the most important thing when shopping in a dealership. Thanks. What would be more reliable? There's the reliability again. XC90 versus T6, diesel versus petrol. I'm sorry, man. I just really have no idea. What I can tell you is that generally speaking, diesels and petrols not necessarily less reliable than one or the other, but usually the cost of the relative components in a diesel are higher than the cost of the relative components in the petrol. So diesels can potentially be more expensive to maintain. But again, that's just like a rule of thumb. It might not apply to Volvos, might apply to other brands. It's difficult to say. But yeah, lovely car, lovely XC90. Any advice about repossessed cars? I don't know, in terms of if you've been repossessed or if you're buying a repossessed car. I mean, I would say if someone knows their car is going to be repossessed, they probably don't look after it very well. That's always sort of put me off. So, Vishka, hi, I'm looking at getting a second-hand car in the 250 price range, looking at Hyundai Elantra, something that's easier to maintain, but bigger for traveling. What are your thoughts? Yeah, Elantra is cool. It's got a nice big boot. Probably one of the only people I know interested in sedans, but I applaud you. I like sedans. I think they're great cars to travel to, like road trip in, and they usually have bigger boots than SUVs as well. Yeah, it depends. So 250k. I mean, 250k, you can get a Mercedes S-Class with high mileage, or you can get a Etios with a boot with low mileage. I mean, it's massive what you can buy. It just depends on how old and how high mileage you're willing to go. Yeah, Corolla's not a bad shout. Mazda 3 sedan is not a bad shout. Honda Civic or Ballard, nice car as well. So something around there, I think I'd go for. Also, check out the Kias as well. Wagons are the cream of the crop. I agree with you, man. Mohammed, how's it? Something about future classics in South Africa. Do you want like my feedback or? Yeah, I think the classic car market's booming in this country. It's going through the roof. It's going to be a very exciting next couple of years, I think. New BMW 3 Series facelift question mark with this emoji. Don't know what you're asking. What do I think of it? I don't know. It's a 3 Series. It's expensive. You have to subscribe to your seats. I don't know. I have very little opinion on those cars. They don't do much for me. I don't aspire to own a sort of normal 3 Series. So yeah, not sure. Dane, how's it? Just joined the chat. Your reaction to the new XM? Yeah, look, it's challenging looks, but you know what? I thought the iX was pretty ugly, and then I saw the iX in real life, and I actually really liked it. So, BMW has a habit of, if you look at the Bangle era, everyone was like, oh, the Bangle era, these cars are horrible, but they've all actually aged really, really well. Particularly the 5 Series, the Bangle 5 Series. So, it's one of those, it's a statement car. I mean, BMW is obviously trying to grab the world's attention. They've been quite successful. Everyone's talking about it. I mean, if they never build it, the R&D has probably paid itself off just in terms of, the amount of press coverage they've got and social media. Mohammed, like you said, buying a new car these days aren't worth it. Buying good future classics are better. Yeah, I totally understand why people buy new cars, right? It's the most headache-free form of motoring you can get, and it's the lowest risk form of motoring, but it's also really expensive. I mean, by the time you add the interest from your finance in onto what you've paid, and you add in the depreciation, sure, buying a new car hurts. But the thing is, cars make our lives comfortable and convenient, and that's why we're willing to pay so much for them. It's and South Africa is obviously quite a challenging country to live in terms of our public transport infrastructure. So, you know, I get why people buy new cars. I do get it, and I don't want to deride anyone for buying a new car, but it's just my personal taste. And again, I'm in this very fortunate position where I get to drive new cars anyway. So, you know, I'm very lucky. I count myself very, very lucky. Katlejo, part of me disappointed in how Nissan Micra 1 liter T hasn't gotten its light in the small hatchback segment. Do you have any quick thoughts? Yeah, Micra for me, it's such a strange car for me from Nissan, because the first Micra, right, which looked like the offspring of like a frog and I don't know, it had interesting looks. That one was actually a great car. That was a well-built, well-engineered, great little car. I didn't even mind the look so much, actually. Then they went super cheap with the Micra. Like, it was just a cheap, cheap budget car. And I didn't like the next gen Micra. Then I think there was another one, and then now they do the platform sharing and the engine sharing with Renault, and it's basically a Renault Clio underneath, and it's much bigger and it's much more expensive. And I don't know, it's like Nissan doesn't really know what to do with the Micra nameplate. Like, I think they knocked it out of the park on their first go, and they haven't really got it right since. So I personally don't find the new, I've driven it and it's actually quite a nice car, but I don't find it to be very appealing, if that makes sense. I actually find it to be good looking, but I don't find it appealing. Like, I don't like want one, you know? So I don't know if that helps at all. Anyway, just my opinion. Is the new, oh gosh, this thing's jumped up. Okay, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna go from the bottom. No, that's not gonna work. Sure, 2 o'clock already, guys. We've been going for an hour. New Subaru WRX, a good commuter. Yeah, look, it'll probably be a bit thirsty, but it's a really nice car to drive. Nicely spec'd, very comfortable, very well built. Maybe just not as fast as it used to be. What's the best new hatchback under 200 grand? I'd say probably Kia Rio would be my choice. Automatic, yeah. Auto, yeah. Just be careful of those AMTs, hey? Those automated manual transmissions. The Suzuki is an AMT, the Atos is an AMT, the Swift AMT, Atos, one other, I think. Yeah, AMT is not a good driving experience, that automated manual. Nissan Juke 1.6 turbo. Yeah, the Juke was a cool car as well. I don't know why Nissan killed that as well. It's like, that was also a great little runaround. It was well engineered, well built, quirky looks, like, you know, in challenging styling. But yeah, I remember driving one and really, really liking it. So, do you guys do this talk once a month? Please do it more often. We will try. We will really, really try. I've been out of action for a bit, so that's why we haven't been online. Hi everyone. Is there a law in SA or elsewhere against making a double cab but with a single cab tray bed? Sure, no idea, man. Maybe check out 4x4 community. C6 Audi S6 or S8, 200, 250k V10. Goodness, just save some fuel, man. We can dream. There's actually an RS6, a twin turbo RS6 on We Buy Cars right now. Crazy. Like 250 grand for a V10, mad. Tigo 4 Pro is the first car. Yeah, like I said earlier in the chat, I like the Tigo 4 Pro. I think it's a good little car. Alfa Romeo's a lot of car for your money. If you look at 159s especially, yeah, it's a nice car. Keep up with your services. Let the car run warm in the morning. One of the best looking cars on the road. Yeah, car maintenance, man. It's everything. How you treat your car. Raynon, hey brother, my sister wants to buy a Cherry Tiggo 4. We have heard the fuel economy isn't that great. We don't know how good replacement parts will be. Do you have any advice? Yeah, they are a little thirsty, it seems, although we have had people coming back to us and saying they're like getting better averages than we got on the channel, so that's always good. Look, parts are difficult with lots of cars. Lots of brands struggle with parts. And also sometimes they just don't have the part you need. It's a bit of a lottery, parts, to be honest. So yeah, I personally wouldn't make the decision based on parts. I don't know. Maybe that's naive. Maybe that's ignorant. But just like drive the car you want to drive and deal with problems when they happen, you know? Mohammed, I'm actually living in China at the moment. Oh, that's crazy, man. If I decide to move back to SA, I'd love to work in the car industry, particularly something like you're doing. Cool, yeah. Well, keep in touch. We need more of these type of engagements, maybe Q&A videos from the comment section. Love this channel. It's just that we need more content, please. Yes, we're working our asses off. We're doing 3 videos a week at a live, and we have to make all the social media content. Like, trust me, we are flat out here. But don't get me wrong. I truly appreciate your support, and I truly appreciate that you want more content for us. Like, I get it, but there's only one of me. Yeah, we are trying. We're trying to get more content out. We'd love to get more content out. We're growing the team. If you know any editors, or if you are an editor, especially if you live in Cape Town, you work in Final Cut and you love cars, please get in touch with me. We need more people on the team so we can create more content. But yeah, overall, I just want to say thank you for your support, and I love that you guys engage with the content so much. It means a lot to me. So thank you very much. Okay, I think I've been going for over an hour. Sorry if I didn't get your question or if I missed it. I tried really hard to get through everything. It's very challenging. You know, some questions I want to talk about for longer than others, but then I want to try to get to everyone's questions. So it's a little bit of a balancing act for me to try and get through everything. So apologies if I missed you or something like that. Try reach me on social media. I do get a lot of questions and people asking me for advice. I can't get to everyone. Sorry about that, but I will try to help you if I can. And thank you very, very much for joining us. This has been a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed it. Love chatting to you guys, and we will definitely try and do this more often. So thank you very much. Sorry about the technical issues today. I don't know if it was my phone or the office internet, and I couldn't get, I'm going to have to try and get this thing into portrait if we're going to do it from phones. Couldn't figure that out. Sorry, I'm such a noob. But the thing is, like I was saying earlier, we can't practice lives. You can't do a practice live. It's like you either go live or you don't. So, you know, I was figuring things out as I went. So thank you very much. Yeah, it means a lot to me. It means a lot to all of us here at Cars.co.za. We all appreciate your support very, very much. And we will hopefully see you next week, Thursday, same time, same place. Right, guys, be safe. Be safe out there. Look after yourselves and each other. Bye for now.